Good morning. Happy Friday. Welcome to the show. This is the Pit Stop, and thank you for being here for, I believe, we are the only sim racing news show on the internet. If I'm not mistaken, we are the only one doing the news. We can make that claim to fame. How you doing? I hope you have had a great week, and I hope your Friday is going well so far, leading into what is going to be another weekend. We're that time of year, beginning of summer, just great weekend after great weekend after great weekend. So I'm pumped up for all ahead. We're kind of in our off season, so I get a lot of freedom this weekend to just play and do things that I want to do just for the sake of doing it. So I hope you're in as good a mood as I am for this glorious, glorious, wonderful Friday. So thank you for being here for the Pit Stop. And again, we are here to talk about our favorite hobby, sport, common interest, that being sim racing. I gotta take these headphones off. These are closed back headphones, which, you know, during racing, I do like closed headphones because they close things in and they're louder essentially. And at the same time, you gotta like open back headphones because you can hear what's going on and it doesn't make you feel like you're underwater. But sitting here without audio playing in those headphones, I felt like I was talking to you from inside of a swimming pool. So that was a little uncomfortable. We're going to make that go away unless we need to hear what's going on. So anyway, let's talk about what's going on in sim racing. It's actually a really, really big week. There are so many cool, awesome things going on for various different people and levels of sim racing. It's really, it's fascinating how much is going on, and you know, you could look at sim racing of just the hardcore level of sim racing. The racing has never been better, right? I mean, has the racing ever been better? I don't care what your favorite sim is, it's never been better than it is right now. Beyond that, the esport, I mean, the esport thing is just thriving, and again, every sim having an esport that is just weekly information, weekly entertainment, weekly guys making a living off of sim racing. How awesome is that? And then you look at the hardware. We're at a hardware explosion. I don't care at what level. I mean, no, we have not seen the price drop that we're wanting for, but I think what we've seen is our prices haven't gone up as much as other things perhaps have. And there are really good options across the board in hardware from start to finish. So again, I look at 2021, I look at us here at the beginning of June, the beginning of summer, the beginning of so many things starting to get back to normal, and sim racing is at an absolute peak, and that is just fantastic. And it makes my job really nice as well. So what is going on? What am I talking about? I'm blabbing away all these things. Well, James Davison, you know, sometimes I just tell you who the winners are. There's, you know, if you want the story, you can go to the Twitter page for iRacing. They post the highlights. They post the videos. You can watch the race yourself. But I like to call out the names. So when we're talking about those guys who are making a living off of sim racing, these are the names that we should know. These are the guys whose names would be on the back of professional jerseys, and we'd be wearing them if sim racing was at the level of NFL or Premier League, you know, football or whatever you want to say. So James Davison dominates the eNASCAR Windy City. We're going to talk about that again in a minute. The 110 on the streets of Chicago. So this is the new Chicago street circuit that just came out on iRacing. This is the first time the big boys went at it, and James Davison showing his road racing abilities in the NASCAR. Joshua Bilicki finished in second. Justin Haley finishing in third place. Congratulations to those guys. What else? We have more. Porsche. So the Porsche Esport Carrera Cup Deutschland has now switched to iRacing for their third season. The third season of the Porsche Esport Carrera Cup Deutschland will make its debut on an iRacing platform for 2021 campaign. Can anyone out there tell me what they did the previous 2 seasons of this in? Was this Race Room? Was this Aceto Corsa? I don't recall, to be honest with you, but the third year of this Deutschland, very, very big, you know, Porsche sanctioned event is going to be now on iRacing. So big move there. It starts off June 6th. Is that today? No, that's Sunday. And they'll be at Spa, Francorchamps, and all that will be on the Porsche's official Twitter channel. So we're not just talking iRacing. Again, this is the official, you know, so I don't care what you say. When Porsche is the one putting their name on it, putting it on their stream, that is a big deal. A record €25,000 prize pool available for the competitors in the championship. And you can see the list of tracks here. And that's not the only news of Porsche or the Porsche website, by the way. Just checking in with some of your guys' chat. Welcome to the show, everybody. Again, I hope you're having a great Friday. John Hill says the Chicago track is a little weird with jutting walls and stuff. Oh, I hate jutting K-walls. Terry's doing some rallycross. What else? Yeah, what are your guys' big plans this weekend for what's going on? Hungaro Ring, Red Bull Ring, and iRacing. Yes, we know that's in the works, right? Or coming. Yeah, my memory, I thought it was Race Room, but I couldn't remember definitively. So, all right, what else? What else is going on? Other pro things going on. Krogstad, Ollikainen wrap up an IRX All-Star Invitational presented by Yokohama with Charlotte wins. So they won at Charlotte. Krogstad winning race 1, Ollikainen winning race number 2 in their invitational there. Chicagoland, we mentioned it, so we have some images here. Let's see some of those jutting walls, some of those floating fountains. Whoops. Oh, I hate the way their new website does this. It makes it very difficult to do what I do. Anyway, so Chicagoland is the latest, greatest track. Are you guys, Chicagoland, street course. If you don't know, I'm sure most of you guys know, when you see the word street course, generally speaking, that means public roads that have been blocked off and K-walled out, like Long Beach is a street circuit. Chicago street circuit. I think that people have a love-hate relationship with street circuits in general. What are your thoughts? What are your feelings? There are a few to come to mind. There are some that are kind of like halfway in between. The one in Canada. I know it is a street circuit, but it isn't at the same time. It's kind of through a park. It seems a little more built for racing than Long Beach or Chicago. Yeah, right angles, concrete walls. Usually you have dips or bumps in the corners for like rain ditches and things like that. Always a challenge. Street circuits are you could have the best day in the world and one false move literally could be the end of your race. I know that's always the case, but it's even more the case when you're talking about a street circuit. Think about most modern F1 tracks and, the Tilke. Am I saying that correctly? Do we need is it Tilk or Tilke? Tilk. Anyway, you think about them and you think one of the things to me that makes those tracks noticeable isn't just the red, white, and blue paint that is typically seen on them, but it's also the amount of runoff room for a modern Formula One track. So you compare that to a street course, which is literally the polar opposite, isn't it? K-walls at the edge of the driving line. If you were to use all of the track to perfection, you would be like squeezing dirt between your tire and the wall. That's, if you used it all. Going to Apex would mean, you can't touch the wall, but that's where you need to be. Everywhere you drive becomes a street circuit. Terry, I butcher names. That's part of my thing. I think that if you were to say, what is Shaun Cole famous for? Butchering names. All right. What else? Porsche. We said there's more on Porsche. So, the new GT3R. Porsche, is that another one of those love-hate? Yeah, you either love or hate Porsche. I'm a big monster Porsche fan. I love Porsches. Anyway, the 911 GT3R is coming out next week. Next week? Yeah, next week. I think we're in week 12. Anyway, that car is coming out, and a lot of people are super duper excited. Yet another Porsche. Some people out there are going to say yet another Porsche. Like, do we really need another Porsche? And on the other hand, it's another Porsche. It's the biggest beast of a Porsche there is. So anyway, they did a stream event. Was this? I think it was yesterday I was watching that. Was that yesterday? Anyway, all the known public streamers, the guys who go and race, you know, public racing on a guys and girls, or women, ladies. Anyway, they did a big event there yesterday. So showing off, and I don't know if you got a chance to see it, but the main reason I'm bringing it up is, again, it's such a big deal when, here's the link, twitch.tv/Porsche. Not /iRacing, not /Simpit, /Porsche. This is Porsche's channel for Twitch. Anyway, so here is the 911 GT3 Premiere, and you can go watch that video and see that. And then the other thing is, if you saw the name of the list, if you went to, we'll have to hit the back button. That's Kevin Bobbitt, by the way, being interviewed about certain aspects of the Porsche. If you don't know Kevin Bobbitt, he's been part of and with iRacing since the very, very, very beginning days. I've hung out with Kevin on countless different times at different events and things. But anyway, all of the, Gamer Muscle. So there you go. Emery, Jardier, Dan Suzuki, all the big streamer guys were in this event and on that channel. So you can check it out. And if you can't get enough, if you can't wait a week, if you can't wait a full week, you can see and hear people talk about driving the new 911 GT3R. And that takes us to something that, again, wow, what a love. Are we not having a total yin-yang today? Today is the yin-yang. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. It seems like all of our topics are kind of black and white, or love-hate topics. And speaking, or staying on that topic, the Formula V. Formula V. Now, some people would say, why on earth? I know I've said this before last time we mentioned the Formula V, because I can just imagine the amount of people out there like, wait, you mean something that's like slower and worse than a Skippy? Yes, it is slower and worse than a Skippy. But for those of you who have been around racing, amateur racing, the Formula V is, maybe the ultimate gentleman racer car. I mean, almost everybody at some point in time has cut their teeth in a Formula V. Yeah, or old Formula Ford. Yeah, very similar. Formula Vs are awesome. I don't know, they used to be a VW engine, hence the word V, right? Wasn't it a little VW 4-banger, which were like, it cost you like a quarter back then? I could be mistaken about that, by the way. Someone else tell me if I'm right about the Formula V being a VW engine. Anyway, what it will be some of the closest racing you're ever going to do in open wheel. If there is an open wheel car that you can go 3 wide into a corner, overlapping wheels, it's going to be in a Formula V. Yes, Star Fox, I 100% agree with you. Slower cars are more fun, especially for racing. If we were going to do a hot lapping event right now, last thing I want to do is drive a Formula V or a Miata. Just single hot lapping. But if we are going to race, I guarantee you we're going to have more fun in a Formula V than in a Formula 1. I guarantee you. Formula 1 racing, if you watch Formula 1, how much racing happens at the pinnacle level? I mean, seriously, if you really be honest about it, and I know you can make your arguments about some great racing moments and whatever, but when you get to the pinnacle level in road racing, how much racing really happens? It is almost predetermined predetermined outcome divided by incidents. And yet when you watch Mazda's Formula Vs in the real track, it is door to door all race long. All right. Your last, no, you're not, Alesh. What else? I think that was it for my racing. I'm kind of skipping all over. My organization was a little amok today. Aceto Corsa, they are on sale, so if you haven't tried it, it's for free until June 6th. So basically through the weekend, you can actually play Aceto Corsa for free. And after that, you can save between 60 and 80%. There's huge sales on Aceto Corsa. So if you haven't tried it, I would definitely recommend trying it for free by the end of the weekend. Or if you don't cash in on that opportunity, it's a very fine driving game / sim. Very worth a weekend's worth of fun. So if you haven't and you can pick it up for 60 or 80% off, I would definitely take care of that. What else? Aceto Corsa. So, big news. Here we are. This is at B-Sim Racing. They're talking about it. This lit up my phone. Aceto Corsa 2 scheduled for 2024 release. So, it sounds like a long time away, but in some ways it really isn't. But Aceto Corsa 2. And I think maybe that's what we should make a 3-wide topic next weekend. I don't know. What we want or what we don't want from Aceto Corsa 2. I've always refrained from doing those videos. I know they're very popular. Speculation videos, wishes videos. Maybe it's something we need to touch upon. But anyway, this was also talked about. Where are we on this? Again, just to give you an idea how all over. You know, at the beginning of the show, I talked about where we are in sim racing today. 5 years ago, Aceto Corsa 2 would have certainly made this show, would have certainly made all the sim racing channels like B-Sim. But when you start getting to general gaming sites, it would not have been today's news. An upcoming sim title 3.5 years out. That just wouldn't make their news. Anyway, but we're at a point now where we are really one of the talks of the town in the gaming world. I mean, the gaming world is sort of at an interesting state, you know, with like certain titles that it's like Madden 28. I don't know, what are they on Madden? You know, we're getting to a certain point in gaming, and sim racing is really starting to shine. And so this is that same article, Aceto Corsa 2 scheduled for 2024. Mobile version coming this summer. I didn't get that part earlier. I don't care about that much, but anyway, but this is at the 6th Axis, which is much more of a general gaming news channel. R Factor, they've done their update, and this was a big one here. We have big updates today as well. This won't be a love-hate. This is just a love-love. Back in July, they released the first laser scan track, that being Sebring. So they have done a graphical overhaul and PBR update, and we have video here. Excuse me. Let me take a swig while this video plays. Are you getting that audio? You are. Is it a little loud? It looks okay. Is it music that we can't play? Do I have to go back into the swimming pool? You know, when I talk at the beginning of the show about where we are in sim racing, another thing to think about is look at where we are in sim racing. I mean, outside of certain giveaways, how close is that to what a real racing photo looks like? This is not what... Look at the ground. Look at the bumps in the ground that look like a real track. Go back in time. It's not that long ago where that is not what the track surface would look like. It's you know, we do this every day, and it's hard to stay with how much advancement we've had in the last 5 years, 10 years. 5 years even, though. Look at this. That is just phenomenal, you guys. I'm sorry, am I making too big about this? It just kind of struck me today. Just where we're at. When we started doing the pit stop, people were like, are you going to be able to have news all the time? Have we ever struggled for news? Have we ever struggled for things to talk about and look at? I don't know. Oh, I see some subscriptions. Stone Cliff, thank you for subscribing. And subscriptions. subscribing. Thank you to you as well. Both of you, welcome to the crew. Welcome to the machine. All right, anyway, some Sebring shots looking really, really fantastic. And an update to other parts of their change log. Full update to PBR for the track update. I'm sorry about that. And that takes us to May, which we've already covered because that was last month. That odd week is light. Yeah, Amir, the small details are the big, I'd even go, I have to say, in all fairness, I have always given Gran Turismo credit for this photorealism element that they have, and there are certain parts that they still blow away almost everybody else when it comes to it. But at the same time, when you look at some of the smaller details, the things that the details, it wasn't so much was the track an accurate layout. It does, Dennis. It totally makes me emotional. It's such a beautiful thing. No, but so even when you look at like iRacing in the early days, laser scan, so you knew the track was to the millimeter. You knew it was perfect, right? But then when you got there, when you were in the car on the track, you're like, yeah, you can tell me how perfectly accurate it is, but it is so blatantly a rendering, not a living track. A track is a living, breathing, emotional thing. And tracks have good days, and tracks have bad days, and tracks have a lot of that kind of stuff. Tofi, I will check the Discord. Thank you for that. I'm hoping you put in the news area. I'll try to look at that while we continue with the show. Oh, wow, look at that. That is... Speaking of Gran Turismo. No, we'll come back to that in a second. Let's finish this, and then we will transition right to that. I like the timing of talking Gran Turismo and graphic elements. But getting back to a track having good days, bad days, a living, breathing entity. And I really do mean that. Well, now we're starting to see those elements. We're starting to see things like track degradation. We're starting to see debris off the driving line. We're starting to see grass that isn't just here's grass, here's track. We're starting to see grass and dirt combined. Lighter grass, heavier grass. We're starting to see those little tiny bumps and nooks and crannies that make the track a living, breathing thing. So I got to tell you, these shots here of the graphically overhauled Sebring from R Factor 2 do blow my mind to an extent. If you have a computer that can run it. All right, as we were saying, this just in. This from Tech Radar. Gran Turismo 7 likely will not be a PS5 exclusive. Now, I just got this in. I think they mean PS4. I did read this earlier. That didn't mean it's coming to Xbox. Wah, wah. Sorry, all you Xboxers. No. It means that it will be backward compatible to the PS4. So, that is the big news. But I did read that. Thank you, Tofi. I missed that one. I think I might have that in here, actually. Now that I think about it. Unreal 5 for photorealism? Absolutely. Absolutely. Alright, what else? Dirt, they had a patch that came out on the 1st. New Dirt patch is rolling out for PlayStation, Xbox, and for Steam. Includes support of the majority of Fanatec devices. So, in addition to that, I believe here are the patch notes. Yeah, look, here's the Fanatec list of compatibility now for Dirt 5 in this latest patch 4.04. And I think I had another thing that touched upon that same topic. May get run on a PS4 will hold it back from true greatness. So, on that topic, Dave Blair, is there a way to make a game that will they make 2 versions? Yeah, exactly. It's what they did for the PS4 and the PS4 Pro version of Gran Turismo, the current gen. So yeah, you'll have a less awesome experience playing it on the PS4. And then if you play it on the PS5, you'll get the benefits of that. So that's what I would expect if they're going to do. I don't know if that article touched upon it, but that's what I would speculate. There are already PS5 upgrades for PS4 games, so exactly, where you can throw in extra graphics, I'm assuming. Alright. Apparently, people are starting to now show off and start playing. So, ambassadors or people working directly with Codemasters Formula 1, the game, like Thea Musante. So, she took a quick look at the career mode in F1 2021, the game gameplay. So, I'm at the Twitter page. I'm not going to fire up the videos, but if you want to check them out, just head over to Formula 1 Game on Twitter. They're also showing off some images. These are some never-before-seen images of F1 2021. So, some nice-looking shots. Yeah, I gotta tell you, that shot looks pretty real, or more real than the closer-up shot. I'm in my mind comparing these shots to what we just witnessed from R Factor 2. And there are certain parts of this that are really bad dead giveaways that it's fake, and then other parts that are just outstanding. That's a nice looking shot. Nice looking shot. Alright, so anyway, yeah, we can start licking our chops and getting ready for more and more news, and finally the ability for us to play F1 2021. So anyway, there's a gameplay video on here, the career mode video, and 6 tracks, 6 world records. Tom 97 HD, not sure. Anyway, so all right, that's it on that one. Gran Turismo, look at this shot. Speaking of Gran Turismo, if it weren't for the stupid hot air balloons, I would have thought this was a real photograph of Willow Springs, and I've raced at Willow Springs many, many, many times in real life. I know this facility like the back of my hand. And I was like, wow, that's a nice shot of Willow. And then I saw the balloons, and then I realized that, in fact, we were looking at Gran Turismo. Anyway, they're promoting the next Nations and Manufacturing Cup, 3 days to go, a little countdown timer. They're going to be, is this what you were talking about, Amir, or are you talking about for you personally? But they're going to be at the Nürburgring 24-hour layout for the Manufacturer Series. 2 days to go. And that was this morning's post, 6 hours ago. 2 days to go until the FIA Nation and Manufacturers Cup. So basically that means this weekend, if you're into Gran Turismo, the best of the best are going to be fighting it out at Willow Springs and Nürburgring. There you go. All right, I told you today was like big update day, right? June 1st, Automobilisto, I guess that was a few days ago, but this week's show talking about the big updates. Automobilista 2 version 1.2 is a genuine game changer. Read all about it. Read all about it. So we follow the link and we get that page. And it is a giant, giant update. And things that in fact, John Hill, I think of you. There are things in this one that are going to make people who haven't tried Automobilista, if you haven't, this might be the update that says, hey, it's time to try out Automobilista 2. A great, great sim with a lot of great features in it. But they talk about the updates, the biggest part of it being Racing USA Part 1, and the BMW M4 GT4. Another one of the biggest sluts in all of, this is 604, Sim Racing 604, with an exclusive first look at Automobilista 2 1.2 update. And that's a Porsche. 3 GT cars, the BMW M8, the Corvette C8R, and the Porsche 911.
What's up, guys? It's Mike for Sim Racing 604, and welcome back to Automobilistic.
I'm going to mute it, but you can watch this video by going to Sim Racing 604 on YouTube. Hey, there you are. Hey, how you doing, buddy? Can we play your audio? We're just checking out your video of the new exclusive look at Automobilista 2 version 1.2. So, real and historic weather. So, any added thoughts? Any added thoughts on the update? You're the first to try it out. Making beautiful dynamic. What have I been talking about? That looks beautiful. Look at the snow. When I was talking about the grass and the dirt, and it not just being grass is green, road is gray, you know, and maybe we'll throw in 1 or 2 extra specials so it looks a little more less cartoony. Look at the snow patches on the ground. And I know that has nothing to do with sim racing, but look at the way that makes it look like a living, breathing entity. Not just this, like, cartoon game image. Those days are gone. And it's very recently that we can say they're all to that level. Assetto Corsa 2. Perky. Aceto Corsa is a really great sim. One of the top best sims you can possibly play. Their lineage dates back to Netcar Pro, which arguably is one of the greatest sims from yesteryear. So you're talking from one of the best in all of sim racing. Assetto Corsa was really... Netcar Pro is raw. And the hardcore elite of sim racing loved it the most, or one of the most. And Assetto Corsa, as great as it is, was very commercial, was very mainstream. Oh, okay, you have it. There you go. Well, in case anybody else was wondering. Assetto Corsa 2 is just the next gen, so we don't know exactly the first Assetto Corsa. You know, it's them instead of... It's basically them saying at some point we're going to stop development. That's what they're really saying. What is it? Assetto Corsa 2 means we're going to start slowing down development to the current gen sim. So our updates are going to start becoming farther and fewer between. And we will now start pushing marketing deals promoting our next venture. So as they start locking down licenses, series names, car makes, they'll start trickling out the same information. Oh, we just secured Porsche. You can see the new Porsche whatever in Assetto Corsa. So that's what we're seeing. So the announcement today was basically the announcement of the transition, right? That's what it really means. I've been doing this a long time. Them talking about the next gen is a secret coded way of saying you can start cooling down the previous version. Is that fair? Is that fair? This photo's not fair. That's beautiful. Anyway, so Automobilista 2 getting a big update, including, so again, the tracks, getting back to the Racing USA, Daytona, Long Beach, Laguna Seca. Been to all 3. Driven on 1. BMW M8, Corvette C8R, and Porsche 911 RSR. Never driven any of them. Thank you, Star Fox. It just came to me that clearly right then. Yeah, Tofi, thank you. You know, I missed that part. Yeah, so I started to touch upon that. So Assetto Corsa was the transition, just to be clear in the lineage, from Netcar Pro, the hardcore days. Assetto Corsa was much more mainstream, and probably a better sim for the masses. Then came Assetto Corsa Competizione, affectionately known as the Blanc Pain game when it first came out. And it was one series, and it was giving you every driver name, all the tracks, all the liveries, in a Madden-esque kind of way. Let's face it, because a lot of sims are just giving you a car make, letting you paint them, whatever. This was, no, you're a fan of the Block Paint series and their drivers? Awesome. Here they are. Assetto Corsa was always more open than Competizione. And I have no doubt that they'll make another version of Competizione as well. And be something that has the affiliation with the racing series. And then at the same time, Assetto Corsa 2 gives us more promise of a better variety of cars and tracks, because they won't be limited by that single series, which is an obstacle doing it, you know, if you're doing a single series. So AC2 versus P-Cars 3. I'll just be honest, I'm a lot more optimistic for AC2 than PC3 by a long shot. Yeah. By a long shot. Alright. Anyway, and go check out Mike's Sim Racing 604's video. 13 minutes of all the great stuff within this new update. And congratulations to Automobilista 2 on that. And I'm sorry. I didn't mean... Sorry, Star Fox. My mind was thinking AC2 versus PC4 is what I was really thinking. Sorry. That's what I'm really thinking about. Oh, there's the link. Thank you, Devin. Thank you. There is the link. Elvis Rankin, how you doing? How you doing, buddy? What else? So Race Room, their new ADAC GT Masters iRacer CB with a donation. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you very, very much. I really appreciate it. On the topic graphics, you're wondering what are my thoughts on iRacing still using their original engine from 2008? That is a really good question. And this is, I'll tell you what, sitting here right now in the current situation with how difficult it is to upgrade a computer or to upgrade even just your graphics card right now, I am really glad that iRacing is still milking the old engine. One of my real fears right now is that too much advancement is going to create a little bit of a problem. I mean, myself, I'm on a 2080 Ti running in triple screens, and right now I can run it in iRacing with pretty much all the flavor. But if they improve the graphics, aka takes more processing power to do so, there's no getting better graphics without better processing. I mean, optimization, sure, but for the most part, better graphics are going to cost. And I don't think that a 2080 water-cooled Ti would even be enough. And so I think that right now there's a real problem for the software guys, and that an advance right now would be tragic. It would actually cause people to go away from sim racing. Because let's face it, if you start buying games and you can't play it, and you can't even upgrade your computer, or it's going to cost you an arm and a leg, well then let's face it, you're just going to have to stop doing it. Yeah, and Dennis, I've heard that it could be 2 years until we get to the point where things are back to normal as far as ability to get electronic appliances across the board. It's not just restricted to computers, but, you know, I mean, I don't know if you know, at the beginning of the pandemic, you couldn't buy a webcam. You couldn't buy a microphone. You couldn't, you know, and that was sort of the beginning on one side of it, but then it never ended. We just got to the point where now you just can't even get anything. So I'd love to see an advancement from iRacing, because when I compare iRacing to R-Factor 2, to Aceto Corsa, to Gran Turismo, as much as they've added a lot more solar flare, and as much as they've added a lot more shadows and things like that, let's face it, their pastel colors, the flatness of the overall look, a little bit of lack of that living, breathing track is one of the things keeping iRacing where it is graphically, and that is lower than the others. But I have friends who still race on iRacing on some very limping along computers, and that's a beautiful thing too. You know, yeah, you can't even, I don't think you can even get a 1080 right now, can you, Viper? I think it's gotten that bad. And Dennis, you consider yourself lucky because you can't really get a PS5 or the new Xbox right now either. Okay. All right. Anyway, so Race Room, getting back to the news. But again, I don't mind these derail. We've done so many versions of the pit stop, and I don't mind the interaction. There's a time when we had too much craziness going on, and it was turning little shows into an hour-long show. And I know we're already at 40 minutes here, but I think we're talking about some really important things. And actually, we haven't even gotten to one of my favorite stories of the day still, so more to come. All right, let's move on. So, Race Room. The ADAC GT Master 2020 car pack is now available on iRacing. That includes 6 GT3 cars, 2 of which are new, that being the Mercedes AMG and the Bentley Continental GT3. But here's a nice shot of the whole fleet of GT3 cars. We just came off of a really fun GT3 season, and I gotta tell you, I really, really, really do love running against multiple car makes. It's one of the things for me that I've always loved about racing. So it's always had me huge fan of GT3 cars, essentially, because they always are multiple makes. Update to Wreckfest, one of our favorite pastimes or side tracks. This is the Wrecking Madness Tournament. Let's check the bubbly audio real quick. What are we doing? Come on.
Rated T for team.
Oh man, look at that. Did you see that? Oh, hell yeah. Oh, it's on. Do we have to do Wreckfest tomorrow morning? Can I do Wreckfest tomorrow morning? What's my schedule? Oh my god, tomorrow's Saturday morning. Oh, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? We gotta go do this. And I have no space in this room. You guys would not believe what it looks like in here right now. I'm beyond flabby already, John. It's been a rough year. So yeah, this is the new tournament, Wrecking Madness. New free wrecking playground environment we were just looking at. New Speedbird GT tournament reward car. New extreme damage mode. What? Improvements and fixes. Oh, we're going to have to do this. Oh, sorry. I'm a huge Wreckfest fan. I am a massive Wreckfest fan. It is one of my favorite things. Elvis. This just in. I don't know. Many of you probably do follow, and if you don't, you should keep your eye on one of my buddies, that being Elvis Rankin. I met Elvis Rankin at PRI, I guess that was 2 years ago now, and he looked nothing like this. He is very young, and he is one of the most talented. He's 13 years old, by the way. I met him when he was 11. He is an exceptional sim racer. So when we talked at the beginning of the show about the guys who could make a living, now Elvis is also a really talented real-life racer. So I'm not sure which will win the war. My guess is at some point Elvis is going to be a pro. It's just a matter of pro sim racer or pro real life racer or both. But anyway, Elvis has now joined Apex Racing, one of the top esport racing teams in all of sim racing, and they did a little write-up on him here last week. So here's meet Elvis Rankin. Really nice guy, by the way. Oh, look at it. Oh, look at you when you were really young. Anyway, I got to hang out with Elvis quite a bit, and we became pretty good friends. So here's a whole write-up, and chances are, if you've raced with us, especially on a hot lap hump day, quite honestly, you've probably been passed by Elvis, because, again, of people that he might be the fastest person in modern times that I've shared the track with. I mean, I used to race with Gregor Hutu and a lot of the Team Redline guys back in the day, but in modern times, I've not had anyone kick my ass harder than Elvis Rankin has. Forgive my language. Anyway, congratulations to you, Elvis, and I expect great things from you. I like I said, I have no doubt you're going to be a professional racer, sim or real life or both. So good for you, and I wish the best to you, buddy. So, all right, what else? What else are we got on? Thrustmaster. So, yep, I knew I had it. Gran Turismo 7 has been confirmed for both the PS4 and PS5. So, Tofi, thank you for sending that in. I wasn't sure if I had it, but I knew I had it in my head. I just wasn't sure if I had it on my lineup, but here it is. All right, and now maybe the biggest news in sim racing. Maybe nothing new. Actually, I have something somewhat new, depending on what rock you've been hiding out under. First is, we talked about posting questions. So if you had any questions about the CSL, Fanatec was inviting you to send them in, and then they're going to do a video. So here is Thomas, who is quite a character. Here is Thomas Yackermeyer, the CEO or head of Fanatec, answering those questions. So if you want to know more about the CSL, DD, the new miniature mini DD, the 0.5 DD, you will find out. They also had a new set of CSL pedals that were announced. So he's answering all those questions of the community in that video. That's awesome. That's great. And there's more on that. So hold on. We're gonna bounce all over, but that's just the way I have it laid out right now. They also announced their new version, or this year's version. We're kind of getting like to the Madden version of the Formula version of wheels from Fanatec. But here's the new version, and see that green? Well, it glows in the dark. They're already sold out, by the way. I don't know how many units were available. They announced it. It was available for sale. They sold out, and that's that. But eventually, we're going to be able to get our hands on one ourselves or you. But what do you think of the glow in the dark? I think it's super duper cool. Before I did this show, like when I do the show, I have to have all these lights on. That's part of my job now. Before that, though, I would have been all over glow in the dark. I love glow in the dark. Always have. I guess I'm just a child of the 60s or 70s. I love glow in the dark. What can I say? Anyway, I think that's really cool. And, but it's basically just sort of this year's version of the wheel. You know, a few upgrades, few enhancements, button caps, things like that. What was the price on it? Available for pre-order, $400, basically. $399. Nice looking rim. Nice looking rim. All right, but wait, there's more. The other big deal is people are starting to. So Fanatec, did their little thing to determine who would be getting the CSL DD. They only had a few units to send out for review. So where's my scroll? Did things move? They're on the get lights out. All that sold out. See, what we have here. Okay, so here, no, that's his glow in the dark. That's not the one. The BMW wheel. There. What am I looking for? Here we go. This is Boosted Media. So Boosted Media did the first, or one of the first, hands-on with the new CSL DD wheelbase. So if you want to find out what he thought of it, you can two options for news, right? You can go find out what he thought about it, or you can go listen to the Community Answers by Thomas. And then there was another. Where's the other one? Here's the other one. Chris Hay got his hands on it also. So he's got the new CSL first look of the wheelbase, and then another video. So this is Chris Hay on YouTube, and then also the pedal set as well. So you can find out their thoughts on it. And then that takes us to American Truck Simulator, talking about their Wyoming road network. I know a few of you, I just bring these up, but I know for most of us, we're really racers. So unless it's something massive, I'll probably just blow through truck sim stuff for the most part. But there it is, Wyoming road network, and a little write-up on what's going on there. All right, let's look at some sim racers. Man, it's been a long show, so let's look at some sim rigs, talk about some racing, and then we'll move on and get on with our weekend. So this being posted by Lucas, rate his sim setup. He'll make a decent seat in some weeks. So a couple of sawhorses and some wood, and that's gonna get it done for him. I guess that's pretty easy to put away. So you could break that down and put it in the closet. I don't know if that would do it for me, but obviously he's in a situation he has to be portable. Anyway, another person. It's much, and it's finally mine. Another happy owner of we'll just call them a profile tubing type chassis. I just like when people are happy. So, knock Ford JPN Pugom. It's much, and it's finally mine. The word finally, I think, is what got me, right? Like many of you know, I have a Colnago. I shouldn't say that. I have a Colnago road bike, and I don't even ride it. It's stupid. But I finally got my Colnago. A lifetime of wanting. When you use the word finally, and I think that's why this captured me just a little bit, was the way he wrote it. I'm like, man, this guy talks about it like the way I got my Colnago. So anyway, it wasn't so much the rig, it was the sentiment that got me. And here is Toby B29, who's making progress with his 3D printed. I'd like to show. I built two now. So this is, oh, you can't see. I have this semi-cube on my rig right now. And this is like mods to a wheel that I made. And that's what I love about where we're at in sim racing too. So you've got this guy, you got Toby B29. making his own wheel with lights, dashes, board, buttons. He's got his, 3D printer running. Me, so this is a mod. This is actually a Thrustmaster button box with an adapter that Ricmotech made that adapted the paddle shifters and held... you guys used to make fun of me. I had that giant Momo. Well, I wanted to go to this Momo, which Ricmotech had drilled out, but the spacing wasn't right. So I had to make a new spacer, and that meant my little hat switch didn't work. So I made a little gear shift lever that I put in its place. So that is now a gear shift lever going up, down, left, right, instead of their little D-pad and a little Simpit logo all built into my spacer so that I can put the offset. It's the dish of this wheel is why. And then I wanted smaller paddle shifters. So I was able to just go like that and make my own little paddle shifters. That is, the theme of this pit stop has been look at where we are, look at the way sim racing has changed and the way we look at it, the way we treat it, the way we do things in it, and 3D printed wheels of your own design, your own build, your own selection of parts. It is a wonderful, beautiful thing. So Toby, B29, congratulations to you and thank you for joining welcome to the crowd, and I like your cat in the background. Nice pussy. Can I do that or is that pushing it? Heiko, I will send you that. Do you want it in an STL or do you just want... I have that logo on its own on an STL. On the wheel, Dennis. Yes, on my wheel. The logo on my wheel. Anyway, I like this because this is a Ricmotech RS1. So, when I think of my favorite things I've ever built, one of my favorite rigs I ever built was the Ricmotech RS1. And if you guys remember, this is back on Inside Sim Racing, the old show, as I like to call it. And on that rig, you got these plans. They're full-size blueprints. And you literally would tape them down to plywood or particle wood, whatever you chose. And you would cut. I will send that over to you, Heiko. I actually have it saved in my Tinkercad as an object even. But and you could cut around the prints, and you could totally just make it that shape, and then you bolt it all together. It was a beautiful rig. Anyway, I got distracted by the conversations. I have a million of those tracks. I have them handy even. I have them all over my wall, but here's Bahrain. Austrian. Yeah, Austrian. Anyway, I got a whole box of them right here. I have them all over my walls as well. But those are the ones that I haven't even put up yet. What, you want one? Should we have a contest? All right. I'm in a good mood. I think I have Zandy. Yeah, that was that. Yeah. I'm drawing a blank right now. How do we do a giveaway spontaneously? I smell a contest coming on. You want a whole set? Terry wants a whole set. I'm gonna have to think about a contest. I was just gonna give out an email, but that doesn't sound right. We could do a giveaway for those. We're gonna have to think about something on that. Just do it. So I know that I can make anything I name 3 rigs. We completely derailed the show with this, by the way. All right, anyway, so I'm going to have to get... you get a track. You get a track. Yeah, anyone can print their own. Tomorrow, Wreckfest, open to the public. If you want to play Wreckfest with us tomorrow, I think we are going to play some Wreckfest tomorrow morning. It is going to be somewhat spontaneous, probably around 9 or 10 a.m. my time. I'm going to have to check in with a few people who help me out, like Phil. I've blown a circuit, David. But yeah, if you type in !Discord, if you're not part of our direct community in our Discord channel, type in !Discord, you'll get a link to join it. We have an open public part for everybody, and we have a patron, certain sections that are for patron only. Yes, Sim Racing 604. I did a video on the traction video. No, I did not do the whole enchilada. I filmed a bunch of it. I wrote half of it, and I don't know why, other than I got sidetracked. Great question, Mike. Anyway, RS1 Plan's one of the most fun things I ever did. One of the best rigs. It's a really nice rig, too. When you're all done, you get a sense of completion, and you have yourselves a nice rig. I will give thought to how to do some giveaway. For track. It seems like a silly thing to give away. I'll tell you what. All right, here's our giveaway. I don't know all the tracks that I have in this box. But if you would like to be eligible to win one of these this is going to be a very small contest, you guys, because there's only so many of you here. If you would like to be, I will, when the winner is drawn, I will give you a choice of one of these tracks. Maybe I'll include the ones on my wall. It's basically all the tracks from last year's Formula One season. All right? So you will get your choice of one made by Shaun, 3D printed Formula One track from last season. If you want it, this isn't a big deal. They're not hard to make. You can do your own if you have a 3D printer. If you would like to be eligible to win one of those, go ahead and just send me an email at shaun@thesimpit.com, and in the subject line, just write, "I want a track." That will be good. And give me your name, and I will pick a winner, and I will contact a winner, and I will find out what you want. How do you like that? Now we're done with our contest. It was that easy. I don't think it was quite worthy of a big contest. We'll do something like that in the future. I like giveaways. So, this one here, this is posted by Full-Time Sim Racer. This is, what do you think of my DIY sim rig? Another Deathmobile in the house. Congratulations to you, Full-Time. I like it. I like what you've done. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Looks like mine, you even use some warped wood, I do believe. But I'm impressed. Looks like it does the job rather well. I like your seat choice as well. All right. Simpit Racing, and then let's get on with our weekend, you guys. All right. I just want to give some congratulations in a different way. Mark Michkowski posted a picture of his Champions Trophy for the Simpit Oval Series. And you can see the tracks that we ran last season in that series. And congratulations to Mark. You have a I don't even know, are you 4-time or 5-time? How many championships have you won at this point in time? There is a shot of his trophy. And Terry Crouch, who won our GT3 Road Racing Series, got one in orange and black and white. Same type of trophy with the list of tracks we ran. But there was a graphic made for honoring him as the champion. So this year's Simpit Road Racing Series champion, or at least this season, Terry Crouch, congratulations to you. And Mark and Terry, this is probably the last time I'll congratulate you. So really, really great job by both of you. I think we've talked about you plenty, but good job. At the Simpit website, there weren't any updates this week, but you can expect more this week, more articles, more information on our leagues and things like that. So do stay tuned with the new Simpit website, where you'll find a link to our merchandise, or you can hit the apply to race and let us know what racing series that you want to run, and we're always telling you information. We have road, and like our road series is kicking off. We have an oval series, so just tune in at the website, tune into the show, and you'll find out what's going on. Or type in !Discord and join our Simpit community and talk about it with the guys. You'll see sections for road and oval league and all that. I want to congratulate our rally winners of the week. This is in the regular rally. David Clymer winning the event in the Lancia Delta, and he wins that over Heiko HS Whipperman. HS Whipperman Racing, Heiko Sherman finishing in second. And Davis ER, who's really, since he joined the series, he has been a force to reckon with, finishes on the podium in third place. And when we turn our attention to the historics, it was PS4 Deadman. Caleb, you're in the house. You won the event, the Peugeot 205 over Davis ER, and No War finishing in third. Oh, look at that. Ken Scion finishing in fourth. Good job, Ken. And like I said and mentioned, it's coming up. It's getting soon. It's going to be an interesting season. We're running the F3s. And like anything, it's all about winning, right? That's what we race for. Amir, our season director, I want to thank Amir on just really taking on the whole obligation of being our race director and really helping me out tremendously. The season after season now, I don't know if they'd be going on if it fell on my shoulders at this point. So I really appreciate Amir so much. And Jerry Watson, who's picked up the reins of the Oval Series. I want to thank Jerry as well. But between those two guys, if you race in our Road or Oval Series or Rally Series, thank you, Devin. Mustang Series, thank you, Finney. Thank you, Devin. Even though we're not so much doing it joined, if you run in the Sprint Series with Billy Strange, I want to thank you for doing that too. I want to thank everybody who runs in any of the series that we are affiliated with. But anyway, we are going to have a team element. So we'll have individual championship. We're also going to have a team championship this season, and we've matched up drivers based on where they finished in the Gt3 season. So even though we're moving to open wheel, it's the same drivers for the most part. So we will include the team standings for this coming season. And Joa Antonio, I do believe, I learned today, I looked at the list, and I do believe you and I are teammates. And I'm excited for that. I will gladly be teammates with my buddy Joa. So anyway, that is going to do it for today's show. I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope you enjoyed being part of the show. I can tell you we're making changes here at the Simpit. Things we're doing, how we're doing it. And I don't know the exact path that we're going on and what changes. But like the pit stop, we move things and change things. So I appreciate your comments. I appreciate you being part of the show because it's really important that we have that interaction, because I think we might, if we keep the pit stop going, we're going to keep focusing more and more on fewer things so that we can have better conversation about it, like a mini 3-wide almost. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the show. Better than that, I want to wish you a great weekend. Get out there, do some sim racing. This is the Simpit. I'm Shaun Cole, and I'll see you on the track. When I find the button. Have a good one, everyone. Oh wait, I don't have anything more to add other than thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great weekend. I just like messing with you. Get out there, do some sim racing.